love it. But the biggest issue for me really was because I drive that hill all the time. I do that connection. My son goes to school there, so I do that connection.
Yeah, I heard at least
Across
one
the
of the
40 minute
commissioners.
all the time. I know how dangerous that road is. I've seen at least 3 accidents of people driving right off the road, and you can't.
What's the Chapel High School? Let's say
They have to
it's
go eminent domain to widen it. There's nothing to really be done there.
They used to go to the dump.
That was one of my biggest concerns.
Well, Mike, you know, he came from the utility side. So.
But I say they were willing to grab the amount of t-shirts and all that put together.
I couldn't believe it.
I don't think that will work as well
gone
with the
now.
county commission.
Yeah. As of October 1.
I think some of them can get
Is that the one on Main Park?
some of the arguments.
Yeah, I bring all my
Right.
cars there.
For those arguments,
Texas or wherever he was from.
key ones on roadway safety.
Yes.
I
think those carry like
I'd be pretty shocked if they, that's such a big probably I'd be pretty shocked if they
Oh, yeah. He was the lifeguard there.
I'd be really shocked,
Yeah,
but
he told me how to go into
I've
that.
talked to some that are,
Something related to
we're pretty shocked.
Yeah.
But, you know,
It used to be all
I told them the reason why, I wasn't here. I mean, I told them the reason why I wasn't here, and they're like, yeah, I guess you make a lot of, makes a lot of sense. It's just, for that area.
Yeah, I grew up in Orange County, out west.
Miss Denise, are you ready?
Yeah, and I kind of spoke as I'm done
Orange
with
Groves, this side, that side.
That's how it was when I grew up
this. So
here.
let's
Call the meeting to order. We'd stand for a moment of silence, pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, Madam Secretary, can we have the roll call, please?
Mr. Jamie Girardi,
Here.
Mr. Don Anderson, Mr. Peter Hansel,
Here.
Mr. Jonathan Moody,
Here.
Mr. Christopher Poole,
Here.
Mr. Chris Williams,
Here.
and Chairman Charles Gray.
Here. All right, and proof of publication, please?
The items were published in the Tampa Bay Times on September 21st, 2022.
Okay. And we have no minutes, I don't believe, to approve, so. All right, well then I'd like to welcome everybody, whoever's here from the public today. The Planning Commission, we're appointed by the Board of County Commissioners and we meet twice monthly. We serve as a local planning agency and we hold public hearings and transmit to the Board of County Commissioners recommendations on comprehensive plan amendments, land development code amendments, rezonings, conditional use requests. The Planning Commission is the final decision-making body for special exceptions, certain appeals, variance requests, and certain alternative standard requests. However, final decisions may be appealed to the Board of County Commissioners. Anyone is in opposition to any comprehensive plan amendment, land development code amendment, rezoning, conditional use, or any item where the Planning Commission transmits a recommendation to the Board of County Commissioners, it'd be important for you to attend the appropriate County Commission meeting. Those of you who are not familiar with the format of our meetings, a brief discussion of those items are, we have continuances. Those are items where the staff or the applicant has requested a continuance for any number of reasons. Barring any unusual circumstances, it's been our custom to approve those requests. Then we have consent, and those items we go through one at a time, and if anything is brought up on consent that you want to be heard today, raise your hand, we'll pull it off consent for discussion. Otherwise, they'll all be voted on at one time and approved and moved on to the regular items. Those items not placed on consent or approved for continuance will be part of the regular agenda. Applicants will have 3 minutes to make their presentations, and objectors or questioners will have 3 minutes to state their concerns. Following the presentation of objections, the applicant will have time to rebut. I don't think we've had any requests for a special, extra time today, am I correct?
That's correct, Mr. Chair.
All right. So for those of you who are in attendance today, if you have your phone with you, this is a good time to put it on the silent position. And before we start the regular meeting, we're opening the meeting for public comment for anyone who's here to comment on anything or ask questions about anything that's not on the agenda today. Is there anyone here that's here for public comment? I see no one. All right, so if you plan to give testimony today, would you please stand and raise your right hand? Be sworn. I see no one. Okay. I think we're making progress. All right, Denise.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, Planning Commission members. Denise Hernandez, Planning and Development. For the record, there is no one signed up to speak on WebEx, so even for the public comment portion, there was no one signed up to speak. So I'm going to start with item PC1, which is PDD 227657. It's a special exception in the name of CGCR Holdings LLC, the Guardian Angels Christian Academy. It's for a special exception for a daycare center in a PO2 professional office district. Comes to you with a recommendation of approval with conditions as included in your agenda packet.
All right. Is the applicant present? Anyone here to object? Okay.
Following item is item PC2, that's PDD 227658. It's a zoning amendment in the names of John Knight Corrigan Jr. and Maria Volmar. It's for a change in zoning from an AC agricultural district to an AR agricultural residential district. Comes to you with a recommendation of approval.
All right, and is the applicant present? Anyone here to object? I see no objectors.
And that is the end of your agenda and your consent agenda.
Okay, so we have no request for continuance and we have no regular items. We have the consent agenda, PC1 and PC2. Do I hear a motion on the consent agenda?
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second?
So we have a motion to approve the consent agenda as submitted. We have a second. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion's carried. Okay. Anything else? Denise, is that it?
Nothing, but I can keep you to 8 o'clock if you'd like.
How come all the meetings can't be
Before
like
we
that?
adjourn,
Sure.
have you, since we have at least 2 planning commission members whose terms will expire when Commissioner Moore and
Yes.
Commissioner Fitzpatrick leave, have you contacted their soon-to-be replacements to see what they want to do?
I have not contacted the commissioners to see what they wanted to do, but I do want to say that at least one of those, Don Anderson has reached out to Mr. Bradford, sorry, and I'm not sure if he's heard back from him, that he stating that he'd like to stay on his,
Okay,
on
so
the planning
remind-
commission.
Is it Don's seat, and then who's the other seat?
Mr. Hansel.
Okay, so those 2 seats,
And Mr. Hansel has told me today, actually coincidentally prior to the planning commission, when we were speaking, that he was going to reach out to Seth, to
Okay.
Mr. Waitman.
all right, so somebody's coordinating. I just
Yes.
I wanted to make sure that everybody's aware that
Yes,
seats are about.
they're aware.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
That was my other question.
Okay. Very good. Okay, let's see, we still have a few hours left.
You ordered lunch?
I'm just thankful that the chairman's back, so we can keep things moving.
No, but you know, I do want to say on record, and it's not so you could turn every color of shade of red. Jamie did an amazing job chairing that planning commission. It was very complicated. There were a lot of speakers. I think the last count, there were like 53 or so speakers, and you did a really fabulous job, I do want to say. So you left it in very good hands.
Thank you.
Very authoritative gavel skills.
Yeah, right.
Well, it had to be loud because there was quite a few people there. So.
And he was very kind as people like went over their 3 minutes or whatever. He's like, you're going to have to wrap that up. You're going to have to wrap it up. So,
Nobody called him rude.
No. I did hear some other words
I don't know
being
whether I should be
said.
glad for that or not.
I don't know if you can hear them, but I did hear some other words being said from the audience to other people that were speaking.
That was to the applicants, I think.
Yes.
And since I wasn't at said meeting, it's great to see you back, Denise.
Thank
We're
you,
praying
thank
for
you. I'm so happy to be back.
Yep.
Very
It's
happy
great
to
to
be
see you.
back.
Yeah. Good deal. All right, on that happy note, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All right. Any further discussion? Not all in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, like sign, motion carried, we're gone.
Is that a record?
You got it.
Close to it.